the devil, Satan, Lucifer, the dragon, whatever you want to call him. He is simply brilliant at portraying himself in a way that is contrary to what the Word of God shows him or reveals him to be. He is exposed as the enemy of God in the scriptures, the enemy of the true God, and he is also the enemy of our souls, of humankind. He is trying to deceive the entire world into believing his lies, into joining him in eternal destruction, which is his fate. And, so many TV shows and movies are depicting him in this way, as if he's a savior, as if he's a good guy, as if he is benevolent. And yet again, another television series has just come out this year. It is called American Gods. And I really want to thank Brother Jared Hammond for posting information regarding this television show on the In Plain Sight Facebook page. He has been posting some great information there, so I would encourage you to check that out. But this show reminds me really of another TV show that we have touched on at times called Lucifer. You will recall this came out in, I believe, September of 2016, yet again depicting good old Lucifer, right in our faces, the devil, as a benevolent, as a good guy, coming and helping the police department and using his power supposedly for good. So, this is not a new theme. Lucifer is being portrayed as the good guy, and in my opinion, is total propaganda for what is coming and what they are conditioning the world to be prepared for. And, right on the poster of this show, it says believe. So believe in what? I will never believe in any of these so-called American gods, or Lucifer for that matter, as to what we're being shown here. But according to IMDb, it says that a recently released ex-convict named Shadow meets a mysterious man who calls himself Wednesday. Now keep that name Shadow and Wednesday in mind, and who knows more than he first seems to about Shadow's life and past. So again, keep in mind this name Shadow of the main character and Wednesday. Gotta wonder why that is happening there. And again, we spoke about the fact that this is yet again reminiscent of another television show depicting good old Lucifer as a good guy. So as we look at some screenshots, we'll see that Shadow here is lying in his jail cell. And again, he's the main character. And keep in mind, or keep this in mind as we look at this trailer, Shadow here is getting released early due to his wife dying, or supposedly dying. And also note all this light that is all over him is actually from lightning. It is not from sunlight or moonlight. It is lightning that is flashing outside. So we will get to that a little later on as to why we're seeing all this lightning all over the place. And as we keep going, we'll see that Shadow, when he attends his wife's funeral, flips a gold coin into his wife's grave. And so can you notice something quite interesting on the coin? As soon as I saw that, the fact that it's gold, the fact that it's got the sun god insignia right on the coin itself, I believe this is a direct reference to sun worship, to the fact that the elites, the Jesuits, the Illuminati, all of the pagans, the Satanists, whatever you want to call them, they worship the sun god, they worship Lucifer, and I believe that society is being prepared for this, for his arrival very, very soon. And, for any doubters and scoffers out there who can wonder why I can jump to such a conclusion, the reason is we are being shown the same kind of sun god symbolism in many of the TV shows and movies and books and even children's cartoons. The arrival of the sun god is yet more pagan symbolism that is constantly being shown to us, and they are preparing society for that very thing. And, interestingly enough, we see the same sun god coin all of a sudden disappears into the ground. So is that depicting that something is about to happen? Is something about to be birthed into this world? But also, could it be some sort of resurrection event that is about to occur, courtesy of the sun god? Because this coin all of a sudden disappears or sinks into the same earth that Shadow's wife is buried in. So are we going to see something later on? We will definitely find out. So stay tuned. Now, we see more lightning being shown. I believe this is a direct reference to Lucifer falling like lightning from heaven. And remember, we were shown lightning already. We're going to see it again later on. So you will see, the fact that Yeshua said that he saw Lucifer fall like lightning from heaven. This is yet again symbolism that is shown to us in many movies and TV shows and video games, children's cartoons, what have you. This is constantly being shown because Lucifer loves to leave his signature. Now, as we keep going, we'll see Shadow now meets a mysterious person who, when asked his name, Shadow asked Shadow what day of the week it is, which is Wednesday. So this man, so Shadow is asking him what's his name, and he says, what's the day of the week? And so he says Wednesday just happens to be this guy's name. And so, do you know what the significance of Wednesday is? But before we get to that, Shadow also tells Wednesday that his full name is Shadow Moon. So I found that quite interesting because I believe that is a direct reference to the moon goddess, a mother goddess worship. I believe that's what we're being shown here. That the fact that this man who portrays himself or uses a, feminine kind of name, Shadow Moon, why would that be other than the fact that they are promoting moon goddess worship, not only sun god worship, but moon goddess, Nimrod, and Mystery Babylon, Ishtar, Isis, the same old thing over and over again. We constantly see the reference to the moon goddess. Okay, this is what they love to show, and we saw this even in movies and books like The Shack, where the moon goddess or this mother father goddess in the same thing is being shown constantly over and over again. So the fact that a man is calling himself Shadow Moon, I believe, is a direct reference to the moon goddess, but of course being displayed as a man this time. But anyways, Wednesday, what's the significance of Wednesday? This man, played by Ian McShane, who in my opinion, is a very good actor, but this man's name is Wednesday, and he's the other main character of this particular show. So what's with this guy's name? Okay, what just happens to be the significance of his name? Well, interestingly enough, before we get to that, you will know that Ian McShane played quite a devilish kind of character in the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie. He played Blackbeard, a very powerful being that had quite the significant abilities in that movie. So he was able to control a lot of different things through this sword or something like that. But anyways, he was a very powerful person, had all kinds of mysterious powers. And so, I believe, again, we're being shown, this man who is not a stranger to playing this kind of role. And so when we look at this word Wednesday, why is he being named after a day of the week? Some of us might not realize that the days of the week are actually named after pagan gods. And so Sunday becomes Sun God Day. Monday is a Moon's Day. Go figure. Tuesday is supposed to be, associated with Mars. Wednesday means Woden's Day, or in Norse, Odin. So the Old Norse is equivalent to Mercury, who was the messenger to the gods and the Roman god of commerce, travel, and science. He was considered the chief god and leader in the wild hunt, okay, in Anglo-Saxon mythology. Okay, so basically this is Odin. This is what is being depicted here. This man who calls himself Wednesday is not a man. He is being depicted, or basically really a pagan god or a satanic god, or Satan himself, Odin. Okay, yet another form of Satan, in my opinion, is what we are being shown here. And Thursday, of course, is Thor's Day, which is the son of Odin. Okay, so in the Norse mythology, we'll see that Odin, all right, is one of the most complex and enigmatic characters in Norse mythology, and perhaps in all of the world of literature. He's the chief of the Aesir tribe of deities, yet he often ventures far from their kingdom Asgard on long solitary wanderings throughout the cosmos on purely self-interested quests. He's a relentless seeker after and giver of wisdom, but he has little regard for communal values such as justice, fairness, or respect for law and convention. He's the divine patron of rulers and also of outcasts. He's a war god, but also a poetry god. He has prominent Baphomet qualities that would have brought unspeakable shame to any historical Norse or Germanic warrior. He's worshipped by those in search of prestige, honor, and nobility, yet he's often cursed for being a fickle trickster. So similar to Loki, you've also got that duality where he can be, or seemingly noble, but he's also a fickle trickster. Notice that he's got the white beard as well. Similar to whom? Similar to this guy, to good old Santa Claus. Okay, so really Santa Claus is yet another, he's a great imposter of the true God, all right? And Santa Claus also, if we look at this article, and I'll leave links to all of these things, where did Santa come from? Nearly all Santa researchers agree that some traits of Santa was borrowed from Norse or Scandinavian mythology. So, some Santa researchers associate Santa with the Norse god of Odin or Woden. All right, so we've got the same thing with the white beard. Okay, nothing more than a pagan deity, or basically a representation of Satan himself, is what I believe Odin is. Okay, and again, the fact that he is the chief of all these gods, and you go, lightning follows this guy. You know what also is quite interesting about Odin is that it says down here, and I will leave links to all of these articles, but it says that Odin actually, as we keep going here, sacrificed himself apparently. It says here that on another occasion, Odin sacrificed himself to himself by hanging on the world tree, Yggdrasil, for 9 days and nights, receiving no form of nourishment from his companions. At the end of this ordeal, he perceived the runes, the magically charged ancient Germanic alphabet that was held to contain many of the greatest secrets of existence. So it's like talking about enlightening, even like the Buddha, even like how the Illuminati depicts themselves as being enlightened. But to me, this is a complete mockery of the sacrifice that Yeshua made for us. He didn't die for himself, he died for us. But of course, good old Satan, you know, he's all about himself. So we're really seeing what Satan is all about, really just a selfish being. And you know, the fact that Yggdrasil, when it talks about Odin being sacrificed on the tree of the world, funny enough, here's this depiction of Yggdrasil, this tree that Odin supposedly sacrificed himself on for himself. But interesting, you've got right there, to me, a depiction of the flat earth map, yet again in our faces, you know, subtly and cryptically, the flat earth, the true model of our cosmos, of the cosmology. So really, we are being shown these things. When you dig into it, we can see what this man is about. So the fact that he calls himself Wednesday, I believe, in my humble opinion, that we are seeing a depiction of Odin slash Satan, whatever you want to call him. It is the same thing. We're seeing the father goddess, or the Nimrod worship. We're seeing in this man the fact that he calls himself Shadow Moon. We are seeing the representation of the moon goddess, of the female, and you got these two, you know, kind of working together. So again, you know, I think even a homosexual kind of reference as well, when you got the mother goddess being depicted as a man, the hermaphroditic, the male for female, female for male, the duality, whatever you want to call it, the same kind of thing is being shown in a very, very messed up, twisted kind of way. So as we keep going, we'll see yet again lightning falling from heaven, and Wednesday says to Shadow, I could use a fellow like you, just as we see the lightning flashing through the skies. So we've already seen the meaning behind Wednesday, which is basically Satan, Odin, Zeus, Lucifer. The fact that it's connected to the lightning. We saw the same thing in Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and yet again Zeus with his lightning bolt. So this reference to lightning, and the fact that Odin and Thor also have to do with lightning, one of their main powers, now we can see what this character Wednesday is all about. He is none other than Satan himself, Lucifer, falling like lightning from heaven. The fact that Zeus is always depicted with a lightning bolt, the fact that Odin is depicted as one of his powers as lightning, same as his son Thor. The same thing we are constantly being shown over and over and over again. So please keep this in mind, because this is what is being shown constantly. And you know, as we keep going, we see, you know, they strike a deal in a bar between Shadow and Wednesday, and this person asks Shadow, do you know who he is? Who he really is? So, you know, in my opinion, Shadow Moon's in for the shock of his life when he finds out who this guy truly is. Possibly even Shadow Moon is not a human being, or possibly he is. I guess that remains to be seen after watching this show for yourself. But really, we are being shown this constantly. But really, Wednesday, I believe, in my opinion, is none other than Odin or Zeus or Lucifer, basically the same thing over and over and over again, you know, because this is the same thing that, you know, seems to be shown constantly in these TV shows. And, you know, later on we see another shot or scene in the trailer where this particular lady says to Wednesday, he does not know our world. I really wonder what they could be possibly talking about. And then Wednesday says, I'm easing him in. So he's trying to console this woman. Don't worry, you know, yeah, this is a new world. We're bringing him into our world, so I'm easing him in. So something tells me that things are about to get real weird for this Shadow Moon as he starts finding out who this Wednesday is really about, or who he really is. And, you know, later on we see Shadow, then he thinks he's losing his mind when he sees his wife literally come back to him Huh, fancy that. So the sun god coin that we saw earlier on literally had the power to resurrect his dead wife. Are they trying to show that these pagan gods have this power, that these satanic beings have power? You know, just as we showed that coin and with the sun god insignia on it, and the fact that this woman who's playing his wife is acting as if nothing happened, as if she's wondering who even told him that, and you know, he thought that, or at least he was told that she was dead, but really, you know, I believe we're being shown that these pagan or these satanic beings can resurrect or have the power to do these things, when really only God, Abba Yahweh, and his son Yeshua have the power. Yeshua himself said that he is the resurrection and the life. All right, so really they have no power to do this kind of thing. And of course, we see yet again the woman in red. This time it's a black woman in scarlet red. You know, is this again a mystery, a reference to Mystery Babylon, which is controlling? She is the one, all the pagan religions, the religions of the devil, are controlling all of the people, just as Revelation 17 says that she sits on many waters, controlling multitudes, peoples, tribes, and nations. And also possibly is a pagan ritual or a satanic ritual taking place here due to all the, you know, use of the candles here. I believe that possibly a devil ritual is about to take place here. But of course, don't, you know, you can see all the red all over the place. The woman in red is constantly being shown to us. And then Wednesday says to Shadow, you have a choice. Either the world is crazy, and as we see this grotesque image, so yet again, I think we're seeing more human blood sacrifice being shown here. I think major Baal sacrifice or practices is being constantly shown in the mainstream. You know, is this possibly depicting that the world is gone mad in killing themselves? You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that is what is being shown here. And before I keep going, I really want to show this scripture from Galatians 3, and right in verse 13, it talks about Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law, having become a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is everyone who hangs on a tree. Or as it says in the Complete Jewish Bible, CJB, everyone who hangs from a stake comes under a curse. So it makes me wonder if whether they're trying to depict a, you know, quite the mockery, as we saw this Shadow's wife being literally, or you know, in this show, seemingly raised from the dead. Is this a mockery of the sacrifice that Yeshua did for us when he died for us? He was the only one that was resurrected, and so they love to paganize or totally twist and make it seem like these pagan deities or these satanic deities have a way of resurrecting people, but they do not have any such power. So, you know, as we keep going, let's get back to what this picture was of this, depicting this madness with this man here. And what I find quite fascinating is that we are being shown, I believe, the all-out coming of the destruction of mankind, the judgment. I believe we're being shown here, mankind killing themselves. We are being shown right in the book of Revelation as we look at the second seal, conflict on the earth. And it says, when he opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature saying, come and see. Another horse, fiery red, went out, and it was granted to the one who sat on it to take peace from the earth, that people should kill one another. And there was given to him a great sword, or as the CJB says, and its rider was given the power to take peace away from the earth and make people slaughter each other. So is this what we are being shown in this movie, or sorry, in this TV show, along with all the other TV shows that we have been talking about, whether it's Santa Clarita Diet, whether it's that movie Raw, whether it's the Belko Experiment, whether it's so many other different shows depicting these Baal practices, this human sacrifice, blood, the shedding of human blood. Is this completely a reference to Revelation and the second seal in Revelation 6 about peace being taken away from the earth, that people will kill one another? I believe we are possibly being shown this theme because the judgment of the world is coming, that Yeshua is about to come and rescue his people from this world, and then right after that happens, there will be severe consequences and severe judgment will be released upon this world, and people will literally start killing one another. And that is possibly what we are being shown with all this blood sacrifice, with all these Baal practices, humans even eating other humans, eating human flesh, all of this cannibalism, all of this kind of horrible devil Baal practices being shown in so many of these television shows and movies. And as we keep going, we'll see the scene of this kid being flashed, driving around what looks like a very fancy vehicle. You know, to me, it could seem like we're being shown the Illuminati elites are behind all of this, you know, causing this chaos. You know, they're the ones that have all the fancy stuff. And, you know, notice, you know, the thing that hit me the most was noticing the colors, the good old red, black, and white constantly being shown, as we've shown on this channel in many different ways, in many different TV shows and movies and cartoons. Major New World Order color symbolism here. And again, these three colors, I believe, in my humble opinion, come from Revelation 6. Again, the conqueror, the first seal, the second seal, the third seal. We've got the first seal, and it was a white horse that came with the conqueror. We got the second seal, and it was a red horse that came with the one that was able to take peace away from the earth and people killing each other. The third seal was the black horse that came with a scale and all the scarcity. So I believe that we are being shown these New World Order colors. This New World Order will rise up, I believe, in my opinion. Now, I'm not trying to start anything, and it's my view that Yeshua will come for his bride before these things happen on the earth. And right after that, the four horsemen and the seals, the trumpets, and the bowls will take place. And of course, you've got the black, red, and white, completely in the colors of these three of the four horsemen. You've got them right there, I believe, showing the New World Order colors right in our faces, the black, red, and white, depicted in three of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. So really, yet again, I believe, is where these New World Order colors are coming from. And we are constantly being shown these same colors over and over again. So really, it has to mean something. I believe they know that their New World Order is about to come, and that the bride of Yeshua is about to be taken away, so that they can have their New World Order, because really, you know, they cannot have it whilst we are still here. And so anyways, you know, then Wednesday says to Shadow, as he was saying to him before, you know, that he has a choice. I believe, now where was that slide? He was telling Wednesday up here. Sorry, gives him a choice. Now, where was that? It was over here. Where was that thing where he told him that? Let me see if I can find it again. No, I cannot. Let me see here. He told him that he has a choice, that either the world's going to believe, you know, something that, oh, here we go. Sorry about that. So Wednesday says to Shadow, you have a choice. Either the world is crazy, okay? And the rest of that sentence is, or you are. So, and he says that as we see this guy's eyes light up when Shadow walks by him. So it looks like Shadow is being shown, you know, these beings in the shadows lurking around are in many places, possibly. So he basically, you know, Wednesday tells Shadow that you have a choice. Either the world will think you're crazy, or sorry, either the world is crazy, or you are. So really showing that nobody's going to believe him, and that, you know, this stuff is happening, but nobody is going to even, you know, give him the time of day, that people will think that Shadow is crazy. But really, possibly, the devil's agents are lurking around all over the place, and this man's eyes, as you saw in the trailer, lit up like crazy. So something is definitely being shown here, that, you know, that the end is coming, and that these things, you know, the New World Order is about to rise up. So, you know, please be aware, keep these things in mind, as I believe these are the same themes that we're being shown. And, you know, in the last few screenshots here, I believe we're being shown the propaganda like crazy. So in my opinion, here comes the propaganda or agenda behind this series. So it says in 2017, so are you ready for what they're going to say here? In 2017, so here we are in 2017, everyone will believe. So did you get that? Let's do it again. In 2017, everyone will believe. So does that mean that here we are in the year 2017? Is something big about to happen? Is the ushering of the sun god, of the dragon, of the beast, of Lucifer and his son, the Antichrist or the anti-Messiah, are they coming this year? You know, they're saying that everyone is going to believe, or at least they're conditioning everyone to believe. So is something big about to happen in the year 2017? Obviously, that remains to be seen. I am by no means trying to make any predictions, but I find it quite fascinating that they're boldly telling us that in 2017, everyone will believe. So we will see what that even means. And, of course, at the end, we get shown, like so many other times before, the good old tree. I believe this is trying to bring us back to the Garden of Eden yet again, because Lucifer so badly wants to undo the work that Yeshua has done to free humanity from the original sin, from the original curse. He doesn't want humanity to be saved. He wants to take as many people as possible with him into eternal destruction. And this same kind of theme again is being shown in so many TV shows and movies and video games and children's cartoons. This tree of knowledge of good and evil, we constantly see the devil showing this. I believe he loves to act as if it's his tree of life, that he's the one that granted knowledge and wisdom to mankind, but really he did not. He did the direct opposite. We regressed when we took the fruit from the tree. Mankind or humanity did not progress. We regress, and we will only progress again once the resurrection takes place, once our bodies are changed and transformed, and we will be just as Yeshua is. For when we see him, we will be like him. So this is, I believe, what we're completely being shown, the mockery of the real tree of life. But, as Lucifer loves to counterfeit the ways of Abba Yahweh, he wants to act as if he's the one that has given us knowledge, but he really hasn't. He has brought the curse upon all of us. So really, I believe this is what is being shown here. And, I find it quite fascinating as we're talking about the gods of America. Just who are the gods of America? Well, I believe that is shown right on the back of the $1 bill. We see who the gods of America are. They have their signs and symbols and insignias everywhere. The good old all-seeing eye, the eye of Lucifer. We've got the sun behind the capstone here, so sun god worship. We've got the Illuminati pyramid. We've got the Novus Ordo Seclorum, which is New World Order, and the Annui Coeptus, that the great work is about to be completed. This is constantly being shown everywhere. We've got also, if you keep looking at the dollar bill, you've got the Illuminati Rothschild 6-pointed star hexagram right on the back of the dollar bill. So really, these are who the gods of America are. They worship the pagan gods. They worship Zeus. They worship Odin. They worship Ra. They worship Osiris. They worship Horus. They worship Isis. They worship Ishtar. I can go on and on and on as to who these American gods are, because we see this all over the place constantly, even with the apotheosis of George Washington that is being shown. So here we go. We see George Washington and his monument clearly being shown to be a Freemason and the first president. You've got the key symbol of the Freemasons right there, the square and the compass and the G. That G is a little g, in my opinion, because they worship Lucifer. And of course, not only that, we see the apotheosis of George Washington right in the Capitol building at the top. If you look at the inside of the dome, which to me is a representation of the womb of Isis, great channels like RSE have exposed this. You even got 50 Luciferian 5-pointed stars all over the place here. But you've got the apotheosis of George Washington in the clouds here with all the supposed pagan gods. So really, they love to show the fact that they believe that they are going to ascend, that all of these Freemasons believe they are going to go to the next level. So again, the gods of America are basically all of the satanic pagan gods, whatever you want to call them: Odin, Thor, Nimrod, Isis, Osiris, Ishtar, you name it. All of the pagan gods are who the people or the pagans behind America are. People love to say that, oh, America was founded as a Christian nation, as a nation under God. But really, sadly, the real truth is that it was founded by the Illuminati, by the Freemasons. That is who the people that are behind America. It is sad to say, but that is really what is happening here. And we need to be aware, really, again, because the devil wants to take us back to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and he constantly wants to remind us of that, and he thinks that he is the one that gives us enlightenment, that he is the one that is going to cause the apotheosis of man, but he never is going to do that. And even as we look at Odin, we see him also depicted, speaking of the one eye, the all-seeing eye, we see good old Odin again, of course, has the one eye. He's got the one eye patch that he supposedly suffered in battle. But of course, again, depicting the one eye, you've got the right eye that is closed up here. Yet again, the Illuminati all-seeing eye. You've even got the two horns on him. So really, I believe that is a depiction of Baphomet. Okay, again, the two horns Same kind of thing that we are shown so many times in so many different ways. And I believe it is a depiction of Revelation 13 and the false prophet, the final false prophet, the second beast that comes up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. So again, this is what I believe we are being shown here, that this guy Wednesday, who just happens to be, or Wednesday just happens to be named after Odin, after Woden's day. That is what Wednesday is. So we are being shown really the worship of Satan, the worship of Odin, the worship of Baphomet, the worship, in my opinion, of the final false prophet who is going to come alongside the beast and be his number one companion, or his number one guy that basically gets everyone to worship the beast, to fall at his image, to worship his image, to take the mark of the beast as well. So really, this is the worship of the false prophet, I believe, that we are being shown here. And so really, in my opinion, this is what American Gods is all about. This TV show is nothing more than a promotion of Baphomet, of Satan, of Odin, of Zeus, of Thor, of whatever pagan god you can think of that comes to mind that really fits the description. But this is all the worship of Lucifer, depicting him as a good guy, depicting him as a person that could resurrect the dead, but really he does not have those powers. At least he will counterfeit those kinds of powers. So do not be fooled. This is what is being shown to us constantly. Again, as always, you do not have to believe anything that I say. Please do your own research and come to your own conclusions. This is what I believe this show is communicating to us, in my humble opinion. But as always, please be aware of what is being shown to us in plain sight. God bless you.